Fad diets. My friend, can we what are some common misconceptions about like the big two, which I would say are probably keto and intermittent fasting?
Oh
Like,
man, stuff gets me fired up.
all right, give it to me. Come on. Come
Well,
on.
first of all, with keto, the whole premise, as I'm sure many people know, is to use fat as your primary energy source. So, okay, like, I don't know, burn fat off your body.
Right.
So, like, a couple things with that. So, if you exercise, right, we talked about exercise, get your heart rate up. The first place, whether you're a man or a woman, that you burn fat from is your midsection.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
That's
work
the
out.
first place.
Yes,
Is it?
it is.
All
I
right.
mean, it's different with genetics and different
Yeah, different
things.
per person. Okay, that's
Right.
fair.
The other thing is glucose, which is your body's primary energy source, um, is interchangeable between so many metabolic processes. And I mean, if you were to look at a metabolic chart in terms of the different processes, talk about breaking down fat, breaking down carbohydrates, breaking down proteins, making all that, whatever. It's ridiculously complicated. Some things are interchangeable, and glucose is one of them. There's a reason that your body primarily uses glucose because it's been naturally selected. There's enzymes and all that good stuff in your body that has been naturally selected to use glucose as your primary energy source. And so when you try to make it fat instead of glucose, there's a couple of things with the keto diet. So like in the first 1, 2, 3 weeks, maybe a month, again, everyone's different. You're going to go through a tough ass time where your body's trying to change from using fat or from using carbohydrate to fat. You could feel lethargic. You could feel unhappy, mood swings. You could even get sick. I've known people that have gotten sick off the ketogenic diet. And
I
the thing
did
is,
it. I
yeah,
did. I did it like I did it 2 summers ago, and dude, I have never been more tired in my entire life.
yeah,
I
it's
have
tough.
never been
Yeah,
more tired.
it's
I'm sorry,
tough.
I
And
didn't mean to cut you off.
you're fine. You're fine. And I'm sure maybe people have found success with it, but people have found success with a lot of things. Doesn't mean it's
Yeah.
the right thing. The other thing is there's a stigma behind carbohydrates being bad for you, which is absolutely ridiculous. Go on Google Scholar, type in carbohydrates and, lean body mass, and you'll see it's all about a balanced diet. You hear it and you're like, yeah, whatever, but it's the truth, right? You get the
Right.
right amount of protein, carbohydrate, and fat to where you want to go physically versus where you're at, and
Right.
your activity levels and all that stuff. You balance it all out and you're going to get the results you want. There's no secret to it. It's just discipline and really caring and prioritizing what you want to do with your body. So keto is tough. It's a tough
Real
subject.
quick, before we get into our segment, which I'm really excited for. We got a nice little holiday treat for you guys. But real quick, anything about IF?
Yeah, I like intermittent fasting. A couple
Okay.
things with that is it allows your body to kind of take a break from digesting food.
Cool.
So you can kind of get into the homeostasis. I don't know if you've heard that from like middle school
Yeah.
biology or whatever,
Right.
which is a
Yeah,
good
no,
thing.
I passed middle school, bro. All right.
Yeah, it's cool. The other thing with that is it's practical
Mhm.
because you really you don't have to eat as much throughout the day. So, people that work a ton and then want to have time for hobbies, family time, whatever, you don't have to eat as much throughout the day. You can kind of plan to have that feeding time. And you'll definitely see, you'll see a decrease in fat for sure. I like it. I like it a lot, actually.
Awesome. Cool. So I guess like I want to boil that down. So essentially like what I got from keto is or what I got from what we just discussed rather is so when it comes to these fad diets, it's never one size fits all.
Mm-mm.
Right. So like I was just saying, are there any resource like real quick before we get into our holiday recipe here? Are there
Mhm.
any like resources that you think are actually like good and accurate that people like can go to look stuff up like this?
Anything with a .edu at the end or a
Great.
.org at the end. Be
Great.
careful of the .coms. Be careful of the .coms. Some of
We ain't
them,
fuck.
There's some truth with them, but we don't fuck with them like that.
We ain't fucking with no .coms. Around the world.